Hello and welcome back here to the Conservative Commandos radio show and TV network as well. We're broadcasting live from CPAC 2019 at the Gaylord National Convention Center in Baltimore, Maryland. I happen to be one of your hosts. My name is Dr. Nasser Sheikh, and our guest today is Mr. Dale Wilcox, who happens to be with the Immigration Reform and Law Institute. He's the Executive Director and General Counsel for them. Dale, welcome to the Conservative Commandos radio show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, great. Well, you know what? I guess they've given me something here that you want to talk about, and it's something that's near and dear to my heart because I am a second-generation American born here, but my parents came here legally back in the late 60s or whatever. So immigration now is obviously it's always been a topic, but obviously in the last couple of years, it's touched a lot of buttons, both good and bad or whatever. So this article that you wrote, I mean, this is amazing. Sanctuary state, California, failed to honor over 5,600 ICE detainers. Can you give our listening audience and viewing audience an idea what exactly is an ICE detainer and why is that so important and what are they doing with them?
Sure, absolutely. Anytime anybody's booked into a jail, American citizen, illegal alien, whatever, you're fingerprinted at the time of booking. Those fingerprints are sent to the FBI. The FBI sends it over to the Department of Homeland Security. Homeland Security sends what's called a detainer request when they find an illegal alien to the local county sheriff saying, please hold that individual for 48 hours. We're coming to get them so that we can deport them. So what our investigation found was over a 2-year period, California law enforcement agencies have ignored 5,600 ICE detainer requests.
Over what period is that?
That was over a 27-month period, so basically all of 2016 and 17. And California's new sanctuary statewide law just went into effect January 2018. So that number certainly has shot up since then. And what's most egregious about this, 3,400 of that number were level 1, level 2 threat assessments by ICE. We're talking about people who have committed murder, kidnapping, sexual assaults, and whatnot. So California law enforcement agencies are releasing criminals back out onto the streets.
Okay, so this is something that whenever you're at a dinner, you're talking with friends or colleagues, and they say they're not releasing, how they've been arrested. So my question I ask is, so they've been arrested.
Yes.
They've been detained. They're in a jail. How are they being released? I mean, are we talking within days or weeks? How are they being released?
Yes, sure. Anytime they are eligible for bond, and most people are able to bond out unless obviously you've committed the most heinous, you're a serial killer, or there's some reason you can't bond out. Most people bond out. Well, see, sheriffs are not holding them. Once they're eligible to bond out, they post bond, they walk out the door. Also,
on their own recognizance, I suppose.
Well, if they've posted money, whatever they've posted, but then they disappear into the interior. They're not going to show up. And then also you have the situation where people have served their time and ICE submits a detainer, hey, let us know when that individual is going to be released after they've done their time so we can be at the jailhouse to pick them up. And California law enforcement agencies are ignoring that request also. And this has real consequences. As we saw last week in Napa County, I don't know if you've seen the video of the illegal alien who took a shot at a deputy sheriff out in Napa. And thankfully, she was not killed. She was able to unload her gun, pull her gun out and unloaded it into the alien, and he did not survive. But that's usually not the case. Back Christmas of last year, you had a police officer killed, Newman, California police officer killed. He was also had been through the system, and ICE had never been contacted. He killed the police officer, or allegedly. He might still be going through the court proceedings. We'll say allegedly killed the police officer. So this has real consequences. The Napa Valley case I had mentioned, that individual, 4 detainer requests, 4 separate times he was arrested for various crimes. 4 detainers were issued on him over the years, and California law enforcement agencies ignored those detainers. And in fact, he had been deported 3 times in the past. So this sanctuary...
Let me get this straight. This person that with 40 times he's been arrested. So did he have to... He was arrested on 4 different occasions,
yes.
Each occasion he somehow posted bail or bonded.
Yeah, or served his time.
Served his time.
And got out and was released back out into the community to harm other people. Some of the charges against him were assault on a police officer. I believe there was an alcohol-related charge. This is absurd. It has real-world consequences, these sanctuary policies. They're dangerous. They're not compassionate. They're not humane. People are losing their lives.
And the thing is that and I was just speaking with someone else on a previous interview, and I said, this is happening usually to what we say, just an ordinary, flyover America, ordinary, hardworking Americans, angel moms, angel dads, just like you talk about the police officer Singh, I believe, murdered Christmas Day, family, no one's going to know about it. And until this, you would never want this tragedy, this horrific, these murders, these heinous acts to occur to anyone. But sometimes you think about it and goes, it hasn't touched the people who are making the laws. It's the ones who are making the laws, and it's affecting everybody else. So give us an idea. This is just in California.
Yes.
Do you have any statistics for other states?
Oh, yes. We have more information that we will be releasing. Here recently, we released on just one county in New Jersey, Middlesex. 92 detainers ignored in a 2-year period, and one of those detainers was for an individual who subsequently went to Missouri and allegedly, the trial is still proceeding, killed 3 people. So this is happening all over the United States.
You hear these stories over and over again. The left-stream media, what I call the Democratic State Party-controlled media, the all-left media, they don't report it. It just, unless it makes some national news network or whatever, and then even then they downplay it. So one of the things I'd like to ask you, Dale, is that you hear this story all the time that's being reported that sanctuary cities, they are actually safer than non-sanctuary cities. Is that a fallacy?
Oh, absolutely, it's a fallacy. And in fact, Kate Steinle, do you remember that case where Kate Steinle was killed by an illegal alien who had stolen a gun from a federal agent? He stated to police, I went to San Francisco because I knew they were a sanctuary city. So sadly, these sanctuary policies prey on the most vulnerable, and they prey on legal immigrants. Legal immigrants don't want these criminals released back into their communities. My wife is an immigrant. She's from Brazil. So she's astounded that people would want to release criminals back out into the community. They left countries where it's unsafe to walk around on the street, and that you have these thugs out there. She doesn't want them here.
So give us an idea, what else are you working on at Immigration Reform and Law Institute? What other things are you doing besides just wondering about what's happening with these ICE detainers?
Sure. This is, my organization is principally a not-for-profit law firm. So we've been very busy defending the president's policies all around the country. And in fact, we're filing a brief next week in the Supreme Court in the census case. Trump wants to put the citizenship question back on the census that has existed since 1820. He was challenged. A court enjoined him from doing so. Now it's in the Supreme Court. We're involved in all the sanctuary city cases where the United States has sued California because of its law. We're involved in the DACA cases. We have plenty to do. There are plenty of lawsuits. The National Declaration of an Emergency last week. There were 5 lawsuits filed in a weekend. So we principally go around the country representing America First immigration policies in court.
Listen, we're here at the CPAC 2019. We're here with Dale Wilcox, and he is the Executive Director and General Counsel for them. Dale, let everyone know how they can sort of follow your work, follow more work at the Immigration Council.
Yeah, sure. We maintain a website. It's IRLI.org. And we're on Twitter at IRLI Law, IRLI Law. And we would be glad to hear from people, and we would appreciate your support.
Great. Thanks so much. This is Dr. Nasser Sheikh here. We're at CPAC at 2019 with our guest here, Dale Wilcox. We'll be right back after these words from our sponsor.